We'll be looking at that this fall. The Internal Economy Committee will be looking at that. Senator Breton made those comments, but she didn't bring forward any specific proposal to do that. But we will be looking at it in the fall when we come back.
Look at the, I mean, Senator Black is the one who's kind of been the trailblazer on this as far as putting up his expenses in great detail. Could Liberal senators actually follow that lead, maybe just take his template and start providing more detail? Because you said you wanted to go further. There's a template to follow, right?
There is, but as we've said, we wanted to pick for this start, for this initial raising of the bar, we wanted to pick a single standard that would apply to all Liberal parliamentarians, both in the House and the Senate. And this is the standard that we can certainly look at other standards. But as Dominic said, you know, we're the leaders on this now. Let's see if the other parties, particularly the NDP, are prepared to come at least to the standard that we've set. And at the moment, they show no indication of being prepared to do that.
They seem to want to have more studies. The NDP had another great phony moral victory that they like to claim when they had a committee of the House of Commons come back and decide that, you know, we'll go and ask Mr. Van Loan if he really wouldn't mind carrying on what he agreed to in June at 6 p.m. on a hot, sweaty night in June. You know, would he help us do that again in October? And that was a great fake moral victory for the NDP. At the end of the day, we're not interested in interminable discussions. We're interested in proceeding with manageable steps as quickly as possible. This is the first step, and there are a number of others that can be done by the House of Commons administration if they get the consent of the other parties, in this case particularly the NDP, on the House of Commons Board of Internal Economy. And Senator Cowan, I think, has said that our colleagues in the Senate will be working at the Board of Internal Economy, where they don't have the NDP blocking them in that particular committee, to move forward as well.
I think one other thing, Jordan, I think that it's important that people have the ability to look at not just one parliamentarian, but a number of parliamentarians. Otherwise, I don't know how meaningful the information is. I think you need to be able to compare my expenses with another senator's expenses rather than look at my expenses in isolation. So we felt that, and we made it very clear that this is not, as far as Liberal parliamentarians are concerned, it's not a question of everybody going out and disclosing whatever they think they ought to disclose, and then you look and you're comparing apples and oranges. We've said there is a single standard here, and everybody, all Liberal parliamentarians in both houses, will meet this standard. If we want to change the standard, then I think it would be more helpful, more meaningful, if we got at least on a party basis, and hopefully on an all-party basis, we move to a single standard, and then you really would be able to make true and valid comparisons.
Suzanne Delacourt,